welcome to the Hands That Make channel. I am your host, Melissa, and I am so happy today to say that I am here with my friend Jamie. Hello, Jamie. Hello. I'm so glad you are here. Oh my goodness, it has been such a great weekend. We are in Jamie's house. This is Jamie's new craft room, redesigned,
brand new. Trying to get it ready for Melissa to come.
Oh, I love it. It is gorgeous. Her husband does, tell me the official title.
Well, he's a draftsman. He works for interior designers and woodworkers, and he pretty much can do anything, and he's an amazing designer himself. So we planned all this out, and it's just my dream come true.
Yeah. These shelves are no joke. Like the way he did them, they're just amazing. It's beautiful. This is such a great set.
Yeah, the ones that are hanging aren't supposed to, kind of can't see them, but they're not supposed to be hanging, but he knew how to do it. So yeah, it's wonderful. I love it.
I love it. I love it. And her house is beautiful. And I'm going to show you some shots of it because, oh, just gorgeous. Gorgeous. But what we did this weekend was we went to Vogue Knitting Live in Chicago. First time for me, but not for you.
I only ran in one year, and they didn't have it last year. And I tell you what, it was so much more fun. Having you there to do it with was like completely different experience. It was a blast. It was so great.
I think these kind of events, I don't mind going to certain events alone. I'm not that person who always has to have someone with me, but a lot of these events are way more fun with friends. They just really are. You're shopping. I mean, you're shopping for yarn. Yeah. The only thing better than knitting and shopping is knitting and shopping with a friend.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. You get that feedback. You can bounce ideas off of them. And
which we did.
Perfect.
We're going to show you what we bought, but here's the thing. Not right away. We were so controlled, and I've never been so controlled in my shopping ever.
Good. Yeah, we were good.
I'm just kind of in shock. But okay, this is what I want to know. You went through quickly the first year. We went through thoroughly this year. We were there all day Saturday. We went through the entire marketplace. We saw some things. We did a class. Overall, it was in the Hilton in downtown Chicago, which is a beautiful hotel. What was your thoughts? Like just overall, generally speaking.
It was small. Mm-hmm. We're used to going to things like Stitches Midwest, which is actually where we met.
Yep.
And which is humongous. And it was small. And it was not packed. You could move around. You could see things. So it was kind of less stress. And then you could go have coffee and something to eat right there. So it was a really nice venue. But we were just shocked at how tiny it was. Not a lot of vendors. It was maybe 3 times smaller than Stitches Midwest, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's. I guess that was the initial reaction was, this is not what I expected. But when I was talking to you about it, I said, I'm not really sure what I expected, to be honest. I've never done a Vogue Knitting Live. And I would bet that New York is different. I would just bet the New York Vogue Knitting Live would be different. I would think that would be the big one.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never
but the fashion show was cool.
Yeah, but it was fun. Neat. We did love it.
They had a runway fashion show of all their knitted things from their magazine and stuff, so you could really see it.
Super cool.
It was beautiful.
And the vendors that were there were top-notch and excellent. And it wasn't crowded. I would have thought a lot more people were there, but it gave a different experience. Like, it was nice. It was relaxing. It was peaceful. I didn't feel too crammed anywhere. I mean, we were able to just linger and mosey on wherever we wanted to go. It was nice. It was just different from what I thought it would have been.
Right.
But, okay, so, yes, the things we saw that we really liked was, I thought that fashion show was phenomenal. They did all of the samples, if you will, out of the current one with Kristen Ritter on the cover.
Yeah.
Ooh. You go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, that was, it was really neat to see, but every once in a while we were like, wow, that looks really good on a model. I don't know if that would look good on me, you know? But
I think that is one of the things about, as you move through the decades of life, you realize certain things just don't flatter as well as, you know, they fit certain frames or whatever.
The white, clingy dress looks fantastic. I mean, it was an entire knitted white dress on a leggy model, but I don't know.
Yeah, she had like the perfect figure.
Yeah.
And it would have shown every flaw.
Yeah. So maybe not that
forgiving dress. No.
Yeah, there was some good stuff though.
But it was so good that I don't buy a lot of books and magazines, and it was so good that I actually went and bought the magazine because there was a bunch of them that I liked, but there was 2 I said, I want to knit those. So I did buy the magazine, and I'm really glad that I did. That was fun. The other thing, we did a class. We did only one class.
Yeah.
So I went to other events. I went to Stitches Midwest. I've been to retreats, and I've done classes, and I've had good classes, good knitting classes. But by far, I mean, heads and shoulders, hands down, this was the best knitting class I have ever been to. And what did you think? Just
She was phenomenal.
Patty Lyons.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Funny. Kept in. It was a 3-hour class, and it felt like it was an hour long.
Yeah.
It just was fantastic. She had just so much knowledge and humor. And yeah, I will always want to take a class from her now, no matter where she's at. I would love to do that. Oh, and tell them about how we have access now to...
Right. So, okay, so we took Secrets to Spectacular Sweater Success. And I really think that would have been a great class for anybody to take that has done sweaters or you're just starting to break into it. It's not a beginner course, but you don't have to be an advanced knitter for this either.
Right.
But what I loved about it, I think we really picked the right class, because having taken that class, there's several classes now I want to take from her. Like, she really broke down sweaters in such a way. It was just like, we could spend an hour talking about that class, which I'm not going to do. But, like, she has a seaming class. She has all these classes online. I think it's even PattyLyons.com. I will definitely have a link below. But I want to take the seaming class. I want to take the finishing, the gauge.
Yeah.
And we know gauge. We know swatches.
Oh, you think you know gauge.
Right.
And swatches.
Oh my
gosh. Don't until you have her talk it and, you know, kind of try to teach you. And I was like, okay, I need to go back, because they give her, she gives you an access code then, because you paid for her class, and we can go back and watch her tutorials and maybe her videos and stuff that only people who have taken a class can do. Thank goodness, because she was throwing so much information at us. I'm really glad I'm going to be able to go and reference that stuff.
And she described it really well. She says this is a tour of the sweater. Like, you can take classes on just the seaming and this, which I want to do. But it was a really good overview, and it made me realize all the other classes I want to take by her. And I just loved it. And she's constantly improving. She even said, like, how she knit 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it surprises her. She's changed things in it. And she has a YouTube channel where she gives some free tips and tutorials, which I'm totally checking out too.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh,
so
good.
yes, Patty Lyons, completely entertaining, so much fun, and just way knowledgeable. So yeah, now what I'd like to just dive right into for you guys is what we bought. We didn't buy a lot, so I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's going to be short, but what we bought, I really, really love.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, you probably have it here, don't you? The very first thing we bought, because mine's over there. I'm going to let her show you, because we bought the exact same thing. First thing we bought. This is so fun.
Good snap.
It's one of those things, like things I never knew I needed.
Ta-da!
It's like a pattern keeper. You put your it's fabric covered, but this is plastic on the inside. You insert it in for your people who like written patterns, which I do.
I do too, because I mark them all up and stuff. And then
you keep it with it.
You can
your
snap it
in your bag.
It's a really sturdy snap.
Yeah.
And then you can read your pattern as you sit there.
It can sit up on.
Sits.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it sits.
Yeah.
So I could even have it, you know, if you needed to, you could be looking, and then you just move it around or fold it or whatever. But yeah, this thing is great. And then you put it back in your bag, and it keeps it nice. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we got this. We got the same one too. Right. We picked this. We were picking the same stuff all the time. But yes,
it's kind of creepy.
Wait, no, who was this?
This was Rock Solid Designs. It was so funny because we were both going for like kind of those patterns that are kind of a little more cutesy and fun, and you know, the funner prints. And then we both saw this and we're like, oh wait. Yeah. I think I want this. This is like, to me, the classic classy design, and it's just it's a good neutral. I just love it. I love this. I love it. And
that was terrific.
Our plan was to go all the way through the marketplace and then do our purchasing, which is usually what I do. This was probably the third booth.
I'm like, getting it.
I'm like, done. Bought it. Forget it. Okay. We also bought, you guys, I'm almost kind of embarrassed because when I go to these events, I buy so much stuff. We each bought that and 2 skeins of yarn, and I bought 2 books. Yeah. A magazine and a book. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so good. I don't know.
Okay, let's show your yarn first.
Oh man, this is really lovely too. I hope that this, should I go like this?
No, you don't have to. You'll be surprised at how well it hears. You talk, I'll show.
Okay, so what actually is, it's called Hotel California, and it is Primrose Yarn Company, right? I've never purchased from them before. I have Primrose, and I've seen them before, and as soon as she picked up, I didn't know right away. I knew the yarn looked familiar, and when you said Primrose, I was like, oh yeah, I can tell. Yeah. It's a single ply, 100% superwash merino, fingering weight. And the speckles are just fabulous. This is gorgeous. They're so nice. Yes. And then you bought a mini skein. When I say mini, it's a 50 gram. It's 50 gram, half skein. But it's got to be earth tones because this is going towards a blanket that I'm actually making for my daughter. Yeah, and we're going to show that blanket, you guys. And that's Koigu, right? Koigu, yeah.
50 grams. So you're gonna have enough because you do bigger squares that take about 20 grams. Right. You have 30 grams left over. You can even do heels and toes. She could do a square for your cozy memories. You could. This is gonna get a lot of mileage for what she wants to do. Yes. This is a good buy. So again, I'm gonna go across and get my stuff because I didn't keep any of the stuff nearby like you. Right.
Oh. That's so cute.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, so here is what I bought. You guys, first of all, a couple things here. Well, first thing I bought was this. This was pretty early on. Well, no, I knew I was going to come back and get this. Yeah. And I got to have Nikki Epstein. She did this book. It's called Knit a Square, Create a Cuddly Creature. I wouldn't have bought this at first because I mean there's lots of toy patterns on Ravelry. There's lots of things I like to knit like that. I just don't buy books that often unless there's a lot.
You can get these on Ravelry too.
But the premise behind this book just blew my mind. And you're the one who told me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't catch it right off the bat. So this is all, let me find a picture. All you do is knit a square. You knit a square, like, this is probably not this properly, but you just knit a square. And all of them can become a wide variety of animals with attachments. Like you have to do a little bit of piecework, but it's just knitting a square and it's how you stuff it and it creates all these cool, different
little animals.
And I just thought, that is so cool. I've got to try some of these. I'm just so, there's a raccoon, there's a dinosaur, there's a fish. I mean, look at this.
Oh, it's so cute.
Look at that. I mean, it's just, I love this idea. So I had to try it. She was there to sign the book.
Look at the fox.
Yeah, look at the fox. I mean, just super cute. Super cute. And so I just bought it. I bought it and I'm so glad I did. And she was there. So I haven't tried one.
Gonna love these.
Yeah. I just, and you heard about this on another podcast.
I did, yeah. I believe Denise from Knitting Den had shown this first.
So she knew about it and she was able to tell me. And I was like, oh, I probably would have glossed over. I really would have.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got that because I want to try some
Denise, of that. By the way.
And then my yarn I bought. Okay, so we went to the beautiful Sister. And when you spell sister, it's S-Y-S-T-E-R. I will put a link down below. They had a booth. And first of all, they were just so adorable, were they not?
Yes. They're young girls.
Yes, these young ladies who are just awesome. And it's 2 sets of sisters. So there's 2 younger sisters. And when I say younger, I really wish I would have asked their ages.
They're like teenagers, I think.
Yeah, they do the yarn dyeing. Yeah. You guys, it's phenomenal dyeing. I mean, I am just so impressed. I would have never guessed. The 2 teenage girls, I might have one of them wrong. Maybe one of them's a little bit older. I don't know. But definitely the other one of them was for sure a teenager.
I love the name of this.
Yeah, this is Emma's. She was the younger one.
Emma was?
Yeah, okay. Emma's yarn.
And the colorway is called Nailed It.
Yeah, and I saw this and I tried so hard. We're trying to be so good about buying slightly different stuff because I gravitate towards blues and purples all the time. And I needed a good neutral and I'm going to, I do have a plan for the sweater, but I don't know that this is going to become the sweater. Like, this is the current plan. You know things are subject to change. And it is the Aviara pullover by Irina Anakiva. Irina Anakiva. And I'll put in a picture here. I think it'd be beautiful because this is total and speckled, but it's really subtle. I don't think the cables are going to get lost in this or... I think it's going to look really pretty. Yeah, there's cables on the front.
Yeah. I still think that'll be great.
I do too.
Just watch and see.
And what I love about these skeins, okay, so they had 400 yard skeins like you do for fingering mostly. These are 600 yards, and she calls them Hella Hanks. And I think, like, the shawls I mostly prefer are definitely over 1 skein. The ones I really, really like a lot. I like the idea of 1 skein shawls, but if I'm wearing a 1 skein shawl, it's basically a scarf for me.
Right.
That's how I like it.
Yeah, shawlette.
Yeah, these are really, I think 600 yards is good. So I only had to buy 2 skeins of yarn for a fingering weight sweater. So I have 1,200 yards here, and it was merino cashmere nylon, 150 grams. So I'm excited about this. Beautiful. It may become a different sweater, but that is the plan at this point.
And if you end up with 20 grams to spare, you could send it to me, and I can put it in
her blanket. See, we got to do that. We got to look out for each other for them little leftovers and stuff. Okay, and then Heather was a set of, she does these bags. I follow her on Instagram, so I knew who they were, right? I just haven't seen them at a show yet. I haven't really bought anything yet, but I've always loved what they've had on Instagram. I have. So I was really excited to see her in person and her yarn and her bags. She has gorgeous, gorgeous bags. this. You guys know I love my canvas bags. They really speak to me. They work well for my life. I have 3 kids, 4, 11, 15. We live in the minivan. Things get bruised at times. This is a sturdy bag. She did have some fabric bags too, but most of them are made out of a beautiful canvas. Yeah. She donated this to podcast.
Oh my gosh.
For a prize for the Mr. Rogers Knitalong that we're hosting. But one of the things I wanted to show you, let me show you the card too. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, this does like 4 different things. So you have it like this. There's no zippers, and one of the cool things is, like one of my sons, both my sons used to run cross country. I can actually put this here and I can knit a sock while I'm moving around, which is really nice. But
while you're running cross country?
Well, no, I'm not running it. But while I'm moving around to see hilarious. Oh my gosh, she saw me run last night. We were trying to run to catch a train.
We had to run to catch the train. We made it.
You can tie it on the inside so the stuff doesn't come out just like this. So now it's secure. Oh, I hope I do this right. And then she showed me how you can make it a yarn bowl. Like you put this out like this. I know I can do this. I can do this. Yes, I got it. See?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
So that's when you're knitting like that. And then if you wanted to even, if you really want to make it secure and put it in a bag, you just tuck this big piece in, the handle I guess. Tuck it in. Tie it. What do you call these kind of bags? There's a name for them. I forget what they're called. It's like a Japanese name. And I don't have that tucked in right. There we go.
Wow, it's not a bento bag.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh,
I think it is. And then see like this.
Cute.
I just really love this. That was so sweet. Thank you so
much,
much, Heather.
It was so nice that she just was like kind of ran after you and was like, oh, I want to give you something.
I want to donate. Let's do this. Something for. She was a sweetheart. Nice. Oh my gosh. And I didn't go back to meet her sister.
Oh, next time.
And I wanted to do that. She had an 8-month-old baby, so I didn't get to. She was doing mama stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you. This is also going to be part of the prizes for the Mr. Rogers Knitalong that we're doing for the next 3 months. There are details in the Ravelry group. It's basically a cardigan knit-along, which right now, why don't we just segue into that?
Yeah.
What are we wearing? Because it's a cardigan knit-along that has very simple rules for 3 months, and I'm going to be giving away prizes each month. But we're going to talk about what we're wearing. Because speaking of cardigans,
I got a cardigan on. Yeah, this is the Olive Basket cardigan by Amy Miller. And it's knit in Misty Alpaca Pima Silk. Misty Alpaca Pima Silk. And yeah, I actually got it at a local store called Knit Nirvana. And it is in Forest Park, Illinois. So if you're ever in the area, it's just like southwest of the city, or kind of west, actually more just west of the city. I'm southwest of the city. They're about west of the city, Knit Nirvana. Sue is an awesome shop owner. It will help you. I just want to give a shout out to her because I love their little shop and they're wonderful. And I got the yarn there, and I even think it was on sale. They have sales and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Yeah, exactly. But there's no buttons or anything. But it's
yeah, and that's not ribbing. That's a texture stitch at the cuffs and at the
it's sort of almost like a basket weave, or almost a little bit of a basket kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit like almost like seed stitch, isn't it?
It is similar.
Yeah,
very similar. But yeah,
again, we have very similar color taste. This is a very rich, plummy color that I love.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm wearing is by Stephen West, the Rockefeller pattern. This is one of his earlier shawl patterns, and I did not knit this. This was given to me by my friend Mel. She sent this to me, and I talked about this in a previous podcast. I'm sure I did. But it's gorgeous. Okay, this is one of those patterns that I appreciated the design, but Stephen West, in this particular phase of his life, he had very subdued, earthy colors, not like he is now, the loud one.
That's different.
So it seemed, I guess it was styled on men, and it was a design that I appreciated, but I probably wouldn't knit it for myself. But when Mel did them in these colors, oh my gosh, now I actually want to knit one. Like, this is gorgeous, and actually I don't know that I would knit one. I don't think I can knit one that I loved even more than this, in these colors. And this is so me. It's so spot on. She's got some stellina in it. It just reminds me of the night sky in a way.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I know. I want to make one of these too now. I didn't even know about this one.
I really think people need to go back and look at some of his earlier designs. They are, his designs are known to be very simple and straightforward, which I like.
Yeah.
But the colors like you see nowadays aren't in there. So just try to go through the patterns or the Ravelry project page and see what people did, because I think you'll see more colors in there, and maybe I'll give you a little bit more spark of imagination.
Yeah, you could do anything with that.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Nice.
Thank you, Mel.
Wow, that is so nice.
I wear this under one of my black winter coats too as like a shawl kind of. What did I do before?
Yeah.
I don't know. See here? Don't you hate that? We were just talking about this. I had this on and I had it a little differently than what I usually wear.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, I don't even know what I'm doing here now. You know how you get it just styled just perfectly, then you take it off, and it wasn't that hard to put on before, but now it's like you're all thumbs. And okay, so one of the things I want to move on to is when I walked into Jamie's house. I've been staying with her for the weekend. Jamie's B&B, Jamie and Carrie's B&B, her husband.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No,
I highly recommend it. If there was Yelp, I would give you guys 5 stars. And
Thank you.
Oh, you guys fed me so well. It's been so nice, but her house is one of those houses when you walk in, you really love the aesthetic of it. Like the decor is really nice, but you don't feel like you can't sit on anything. Like it's very inviting. It's very, it's like the best of all the worlds.
Oh my gosh.
And so I am going to put some pictures in here because one of the things I think she did wonderfully is, and I'm starting to go this route, you have neutral furniture, but you have pops of colors on it. And I think that's so great for when you want to switch things up.
Right. Right.
Furniture can still stay.
Well, and you know what? We're empty nesters now. Our daughter graduated college, got a job in California. We're in the suburbs of Chicago, and she's moved on and is killing it out there. So I don't think she's moving back. So we just started getting new furniture and new things and redoing things, because when you don't have kids in the house anymore, you can actually have nice things once in a while now.
That's right. That's right.
Empty nester syndrome, yeah.
But one of the things I love that you did, like we love our hand knit stuff and hand knit blankets. Almost all of us has one on the needles or a crochet blanket. But I think a lot of us are guilty of putting them away and then only taking them out when we need them. And you had them just casually draped over the couch. And I did that night we first started. We were hanging out that very first night. I curled right up under what is your husband's favorite blanket.
Yes.
This is your, what is this called?
It is called the Barn Raisin Quilt, and it is by Shelley, Mackie and Larissa Brown. And it comes from a book, actually. The book is called Knitalong, Celebrating the Traditional the Tradition of Knitting Together, I believe is what it's called. So
I love that name, Celebrating.
Yeah, because see, here's the thing, what it actually is supposed to be for is that a community would maybe come along and everyone would knit a square and then they would put it together. So that's why it's like barn raising. Like in the olden days when they would, everyone would get together to raise the barn in the town.
Right.
So they were making blankets for people and everyone would just do a square. Of course, I did all of them. And then thanks to Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, she has a tutorial when you're a patron. Gotta become a patron. It's well worth it.
Oh yeah.
You become a patron, and she has a tutorial on how to make put an edging around knitting pieces that might want an edge. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to give that a try, and she really has a great tutorial about it. And
her tutorials are awesome.
They're really, really good, and I went ahead and wow, I'm so glad I did, because here, I'll show you what it looks like without it. Would be, these are some of the ones now that are going to be for my daughter.
Because this blanket's finished. She's getting ready to do one for your...
I'm doing one for her.
Haley.
And Haley likes earth tones. I do have some pops of color. Oh, I guess you can still see it. Look at that one. It's so cool.
I love that's so us.
Yeah.
We could trade stashes and be perfectly happy.
And it would have been nice to still put it together that way. But I tell you what, adding the edging, it almost makes it look like stained glass, right?
And it to me, it honestly looks like something you would spend a lot of money on in a store. And it's a perfect, it's fingering weight,
it's all sock yarn.
Yeah, and it's a great weight. Her husband, who is not a knitter but does enjoy your handmade items, he just said it just feels good. It's such a perfect weight.
He actually used the word. He said, "Oh, this is luxurious." I was like, what? Like, I've never heard him say that word before. I thought that was so adorable. And yeah, he likes it. So he actually tends to use this one. I tend to use my mitered square blanket.
Most of you guys know the Cozy Memories. And you did that without the black frame. And I still love that one too.
But I'm going to do another one now that one's completed. And I'm going to do it with a black frame around those now. Because I just like that idea.
Okay, so first of all, some things that I noticed that you did about this blanket that I loved. I love the black. And you know what? It's one of those things that I think I would have wanted to see it before I did it. Like, now that I see yours, I'm like, oh, I think now if I did one, I would want always this border. Oh, that's what's fun. Yeah. I'm like, oh, no, it's fine to just piece it together. But this is so, it just really brings things together. And two, one of the things you did, while this is a scrappy blanket, yours coordinates. It really does. Like I'm going to show a full picture here, and you'll notice you said it's kind of...
It's almost like a crazy rainbow where I would start with ones that are sort of reds, going into the yellows and greens, going into the blues, and ending up with the purple and sort of... So it is kind of a faux rainbow.
I think when I do my next scrappy blanket, the one I'm doing now, it's a granny stripe blanket, and I love it. It's scrappy, totally scrappy, right? I'm putting all the colors in it, and I love it. But I think when I do another one, I'm going to have some coordination to it. You know, I think it's either going to be like blues and purples and whatever. I call them my bruise colors. Blues, purples, blacks, grays. I love the colors of a bruise. Or maybe like I saw this really cute pastel-y, like what I love about my scrappy blanket, colors are pairing together. Oh, that looks really nice together, and I can see whole blankets within the blanket.
Right.
Like I want to make a whole blanket out of these colors. So I have a feeling I'm going to be going down that road soon.
Yeah.
But you have, again, a tip that I would have made a mistake on so many times over.
Right.
And it's so simple, and it's like one of these things, like, why didn't I think of that you have to share about this?
Well, yeah, and one of the things that I loved about this project, too, is it's just so portable. This is my project
You're
going on right now.
literally bringing one square.
Yeah, I take this on the plane. I have bamboo needles, so I can take it on the plane, take it on the train, anywhere. So, but the thing is, when you're starting it, it's really tricky and really fiddly, but what is not in the pattern, but what I recommend if you wanted to do something like this, is you have to start with a stitch marker that is not the same color, and then all of these are the same color. So this way you know the beginning of the round, because it's just a square. It turns into a square. It's actually like a circle that turns into a square. You don't know where the heck you are if you don't have a different stitch marker at the start of your round, and then you go around, it's all the same color, and then it just really helps a lot. Yeah, and I don't know if people actually realize that. Look at how this just folds too. Then it folds like this and this. Yeah. And it can go anywhere.
Because with a sock, because if you think about it, like a lot of times I'll forget to put, like, I don't know, I almost never use a beginning of the round stitch marker with my sock. Because pretend this is the top of your sock. Well, your yarn would lay somewhere, so you know that's the beginning of your round. You know where it is, right? Yeah. But like you said, you're starting with this little bitty circle, and you're going out and out, and
the beginning of the round is
you can't tell.
Is there.
Yeah, it's in the center of the circle.
Yeah.
So that, that's just one of those things, because you want this to be kind of mindless and relaxing, and these are the kind of things that help you keep it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it just has to do with yarn overs. There's just a couple yarn overs in it. Otherwise, that's all it is. Love it.
That's a great project. That's a great project. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And see, I never thought this would be on my radar, and it just might be now.
Yay.
So now I want to get into who you are, because, okay, so this whole theme for the next few months is Mr. Rogers. You watched Mr. Rogers when you were a kid, right?
I did, yes.
Yes. Loved him. I loved your guys' comments, which, speaking of which, we did draw a prize.
Right.
I almost forgot that.
Okay.
We did draw a prize for the YouTube comments, for the Mr. Rogers comments. Like, what's your favorite memory of Mr. Rogers? Or if you didn't know Mr. Rogers in certain countries, he did not play. Mm-hmm. He did play in Canada. I did not realize that.
Oh, cool.
You told me about someone when you were a child who inspired you. You guys, your comments were so wonderful. I loved reading those. The person who won the prize for the comments below in the last episode was Dee Dee Jenkins. Yay, Dee Dee! You get some very pretty minis that I showed in the last show. And if you want those, please drop me a message on Ravelry. I'm Spicy Homemaker everywhere. Spicy Homemaker on Ravelry. Spicy Homemaker on Instagram. Mm-hmm. But drop me a message on Ravelry and send me your address, and I will get those minis in the mail to you. So congratulations, and thank you.
Oh, and you know what I'm going to say too, before I forget, I'm Hayes Mom 25.
Good job.
On Ravelry and on Instagram.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, and I just posted a picture of us on Instagram that has you on there too, so you guys can see that if you want to see what Jamie's up to. But, okay, Jamie, so some cool things about Jamie. Jamie and I met at Stitches Midwest, like she said, and she used to be an actress, and she still is. You still are, but you're not full-time.
But I was full-time professional musical theater, national tours, Broadway, stuff like that.
You were on Broadway.
Yeah, I got to do one Broadway show.
That is so
Titanic.
Cool.
I did Titanic before the ship sank, or sank. Before it just sank forever. That show was a really wonderful show, but I got in it when it was towards the end. So I was only in it for the last 3 months, but it was so exciting. It was really wonderful. And but then when I moved home with my daughter here, I continued doing Chicago theater, stopped doing tours. And then when she got into college, I thought, you know what, maybe I need to get a real job and stop doing the acting thing. And I got my new husband, and so I was like, I really liked hanging out with him. And when you're in theater, you don't have your weekends. You're at the theater all the time. So it worked out where now I'm actually full-time nannying, and I love it because I've raised my girl, and now I'm raising other people's children, and I really love it, and I sing to them incessantly. But
she's a fabulous singer.
Well, and
fabulous.
They refer to me as the singing nanny, which is hilarious.
I love that. I love that.
It's fun.
And one of the things, okay, so a couple cool things. One, Jamie is one of those people when you meet her, she is just so full of life and just such a positive, you know, she's got this exuberance about you that draws people in, and you're just like, oh, that's a person I want to know. That's a person I want to be around. You know, like, I love that. I love that. And then her husband is just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't know if you want to strangle them because they're so awesome or give them big hugs. I don't want to give them big hugs because they're just such good people.
He is
such
so good.
people. I love it. I'm so glad I know you guys. I'm like, thanks. It's just been wonderful. And then we have knitting. We have knitting as if that isn't enough, right?
Yeah.
And you told me that you enjoyed acting clearly for full time, but you don't miss it now. Like, it's not like...
No, because being a normal person has been actually very exciting. I spent most of my life doing this schedule because I started actually being professional at the age of 14 and went on a touring company. Like, it was actually the first national touring company of Evita as Prone's mistress. My mom had a tour with me, and for about a year we went around the country doing this show, and then from there I just had always been doing tours. I did like Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with Donny Osmond. Did that for 2 years and just loved it. But after a while, you just want to be settled down, especially because then we had Haley. And so I think that now being like what I would consider a normal person is amazing. I love having my weekends free. I love getting to do things like going on retreats or you know, just things that you would do, normal people do on weekends. You can't do it when you're in theater. So I don't miss it. I don't miss it. But one thing that I always did that was the thread that led through my whole life was knitting. Because I started knitting when I was 15. Wow. And I discovered that it was a great way to pass the time. You could be backstage, you could have your project, but you could hear your cue. It's not like a book where you'd get engrossed and maybe miss your cue. You have to, you know, but I could be backstage knitting, run, do the scene, come back, continue knitting. When I was touring, you know, you'd be on the bus or on the plane or whatever, and you'd just be knitting all the time. So I was constantly cranking out projects. And that's the one thing that I have always done since the age of 15, and I will continue to do. So maybe I'm not performing anymore, really, but yeah, I will always be a knitter. Yeah, I hear you. That is knitting for me. I loved trying so many different things. I love learning new things. So I'm a dabbler. I will dabble in everything. I don't need to be an expert in everything, so I'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I'm okay if I've done it for a while and I'm done with it. Like, that doesn't bother me. But when I did knitting, there was something that clicked for me. Because I've said this before in different forums and with different people, is that one of the things I love about knitting is that it is as simple as you want it to be or as hard as you want it to be. We were with Patty Lyons, who is an extremely skilled knitter, clearly, but she hasn't learned everything there is to know. And she even admitted that. She's like, you're always improving. There's no end, you know, and that always keeps it interesting. You're always learning new things. And then I love, because I work in cybersecurity at a desk, and while I'm doing work, there's no product at the end. You know, there's nothing tangible that says, I made this, I did this. And with knitting, we have, you know, we make clothes, we make socks, we make, ooh, I want to show you a toy real quick. I do want to show this. Oh, you do? My horsey. I do. Her horsey, because you said this is your only pattern that you created, but she doesn't have it on Ravelry, folks. I don't. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just thought I'd make up a horse for Haley when she was a real little girl. And, yeah, adorable. You should be so proud of this. This is great. Well, and it was from knitting other toys from, you know, different books and stuff that I was like, well, I think I can figure this out. So, yeah, I'm a little pony. He's cute. Thanks. But, I mean, that's just knitting. That's just knitting. You can do so much, and maybe you just want it to be mindless. Maybe you like just knitting yards and yards of garter or stockinette.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. It's whatever you want it to be in that moment, and I love it. But, so, segueing from you being an actress to this knitting, she's famous in the knitting world. You guys might not know this.
Sure, yeah.
You are. If you watch, we both have such a love of the Bakery Bears podcast with Kay and Dan. Yes. Oh my gosh. Love them. Again, people that... Dan and Kay, we're just going to warn you, we're probably going to be up in England one time, and we've already figured out how to get to your house. They're probably totally scared now.
We've checked.
We found the trains and everything. We're like, we need to visit them. Like, we need to say hi. They're just such good people, and they, real quickly on that, I want to just park for a minute, because one of the reasons I love them so much is, one, they're such genuine good people. They do it together, husband and wife, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But two, they had very life-defining moments. You know, they had a very serious illness in the family, that they were one of those people that stopped and said, what do we want to do with our lives? Like, is this really the path we want to be on? Because it was one of those life or death moments. And they said, we're quitting all of it. We're getting out of this rat race, and we're going to do what we love. And they started a knitting podcast. And they do it they make money from this in a very hard-working way. They produce a podcast that's top quality. Dan puts on things with historical. He shows all these historical cool places in England. Very, very well done. Kay does all these tutorials. They give so much back to our community. It is amazing.
Bakery Bears.
Off the charts.
What it's called. Yeah,
yes.
I forgot to say that.
I cannot. And they're so good about community. They build. If you are looking for, if you feel like you are not connecting with anybody, or maybe you don't have any knitters that are in your community, I highly suggest going to the Bakery Bears Ravelry group. They have Facebook pages. They are such an interactive group. All the people involved there. Yeah. And so are Kay and Dan. They are part of the group. They believe in this community more than anybody I've ever met.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I just love that. And it resonates. If you watch this, I will not even have to, you'll believe it. You'll see it. It's clear. So, and I like that that's why I'm a patron. They do all this stuff, but I have such a respect for someone who's like, this isn't what I want to do with my life.
Yeah, that's what they do now.
Right now, and let's turn this around.
Yeah.
And to me, some people are like, oh, well, I don't want to pay for this. And you don't have to.
And it's not much.
You really don't. You can do as low as $2. You can do $5. You can do whatever you want. But they provide even more content on that Patreon channel. And they do extra shows. And I look at it this way. I give a certain amount on there. And I think Starbucks costs me $5 to $6 when I get a coffee. Yeah. If I do 2 of those a month, that's like $12 right there. If I can do 2 Starbucks coffees, it's nothing for me to do that for once a month and then provide into the community that I love. Right. And they're just part of that. I'm sorry, I'm gushing. I just can't even help it. Yeah. But one of the things I want you guys to know about them at the end, if you watched it, she's the voice at the end. She's the song at the end. Okay, you gotta do it.
So funny.
You gotta hear her voice too.
It was just like a joke. I think they were having a podcast anniversary, and I love their song at the very end that they play, and it just is like da 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 da, and it was just the music. But I would go around the house going, who's that sitting and knitting? It's Dan and Kay, the Bakery Bears. Da 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 da, not quitting. Da, da. And all of a sudden, lyrics started coming to me. And I was like, well, I want to write this down. Then I was like, wait, this is kind of fun. I'm going to film this and send it to them for their anniversary present, you know, just for them, not for anyone else. And then they contacted me. They were like, oh my gosh, we really love that. Did you write those lyrics yourself? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy, and it just came really quickly. And then I ended up, they just used it. I don't know. They ended up making me sing it again in a way that they were able to record it. And out in England, they did their magic. And now I'm in their show at the end. That's me singing that. And it's hilarious because I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was really fun. Right, she's always around. She said, I'm always humming. And she is. She's always humming little tunes around the house. It's a curse where there's always music on in my head, going on, and there's always a song. So it was just a way, though, for me to show my appreciation for them, because I think they're so fun. And I thought, and Dan was a musician, and we actually talked about that. So I thought, oh, they'll get a kick out of this. It's just, you know, kind of a fun thing. So, yep, there you go. It was fun. And so since I am just gushing and gushing about the Bakery Bears, I'm going to tear a page out of their book, because they do so many fun things throughout their show. That's so much good knitting content, but they always throw in this fun stuff. Yeah.
They do a thing called, well, they were doing things like, what was it, the Sweeties. And they were trying candies and chocolates from all over the world. And they would try them on screen, and they would talk about whether or not they liked them. Right now they're doing down the international aisle of like the grocery store in England, and they're trying all these different ethnic foods online. And then one of the things they're starting to do, someone sent them MRE. That's what you do in the military. You get these meals ready to eat. Yeah, which are not that great. Yeah. Anyways, that started a thing where now they're getting those from all over the world. People are sending them to it. It's so funny. Yeah, they get to watch them. Yeah, I think the last 3 they've done. I think they've done Australia, England, and the United States. On the last 3 episodes they have posted, and they are hysterical. They're towards the end. You guys have got to watch that. Yeah. But I thought, let's do this, because I'm was at a gas station on my way up here, and I have never seen these. M&Ms are really starting to like expand their boundaries. Oh, good. There's so many. These are crunchy espresso M&Ms. I love coffee. I know you like coffee. I do. And chocolate and coffee. I'm thinking it's crunchy. It looks like there's an Oreo in there. So what's it called? Crunchy espresso M&Ms. Ooh. I do know I love their coffee nut M&Ms. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I've never had that. So good. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Here we go.
Use your teeth.
That's what I do. I'm trying not. Okay, guys, I can't have.
You do.
There's my ladylike move. But we're gonna try these.
Oh, good. Okay.
Here you go.
Wait, there are only 2 colors?
No, there's a dark one too. So like white, brown, and like dark brown, huh?
Yeah. Black. They're probably all the same flavor, right?
I would think so.
Oh my, very crunchy.
Gosh.
Oh, they're good.
Oh, this might have replaced my coffee nut M&Ms.
They do taste like an espresso bean, but you don't have that grit when you actually eat a chocolate covered espresso bean. Have you ever had that?
And it's not too strong like the espresso bean. It's a little less.
Okay, yeah, those are good.
Oh yeah,
those are good. If you like coffee, if you don't like coffee,
if you don't like coffee, you're not gonna like this, because there's definitely an espresso hint, but the chocolate gives it that sweet flavor too. It's like espresso with sugar and cream.
Is good. Oh yeah. Those are nice.
I like that crunchy.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to have to get these all the time.
Oh, I hope this is a limited edition. These need to go away fast.
Carrie is such a sweet tooth, though. He's so thin. We have candy all over our house. It's hidden in drawers. It's out. Oh, yeah. We have candy everywhere. And
we'll have to have Carrie try these.
He would love these. Yeah. I don't know. He's got such a sweet tooth. It's hilarious. These are good.
Me and Carrie, we couldn't live together because we would be like, my mom and dad hide their candy from each other. And really? I would be that person.
Oh. I'm usually pretty good, but...
Oh my goodness. Well.
Good stuff.
I am so glad we did this, because I have said this before in the past too. I love podcasting, but when you're a solo podcaster, we talk to ourselves. We talk to the camera to ourselves, and it's so much nicer to have someone to dialogue.
Yeah. I was happy to do this.
Perfect ending to a great weekend.
It was such a great weekend. Oh man.
So thank you so much.
Please come back.
Oh my gosh.
Anytime. You have your room now. Haley's room now is Melissa's room.
Yay! So that's all we have for you guys this week, and thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, bye.